Hi guys, this tutorial is about the Bootstrap Collapse, or what we call the Bootstrap Collapsible and Accordion. So first of all, let me show you the demo of a basic collapsible. What do you mean by collapsibles? Collapsible simply means when we click on this button, you get the content, whatever it is. When you click on this button, this content goes off. So on clicking this thing, we are getting this. This is very simple. If you are using jQuery or JavaScript, then we can code a JavaScript function for this thing, and we can invoke an on-click method. But by using Bootstrap, we can simply make it simple for our UI. Instead of coding it, we can make design elements like that. So let us study the examples. What I've done here is I have simply included a button on click of which I'm getting this div. But for collapsible to be integrated from Bootstrap, what we have done is we have included two things. One is the data collapse and the data target. Now, why we are using data target? Because on click of this particular button, we need to find a div with an ID demo, as already explained. So data target is demo. It will search for whatever the element is having ID as demo, and it will display those elements. So data toggle is collapse, so the functionality of collapse will be automatically added to this particular button. But now the next thing, whatever the content that we define within this div id equals to demo, we need to mention the class as collapse. So what happens is, now when we click the button, first the target goes on to this div, but in order to include the functionality of collapse, we use class equals to collapse, which means this content will be in the form of a collapsible. So we can see the demo. This was a simple HTML page. Okay, on click of this, the div element with the collapse class is coming. When I click it, because of the collapsible property, it is going back. Clicking it, gets it. Clicking it again, goes back. So this was a simple example of a collapsible. Another example of collapsible is a form of accordion. What is the difference between collapsible and accordion? Let me tell you. See, this is a colladion. This is a collapsible, and this is an accordion. So you just observe, this is an accordion. So see what is happening here. In collapsible, basic collapsible means you are clicking and getting the content out, and clicking, the content is going back. Now a collapsible within a group gives form to an accordion. What is happening here is, when I'm clicking one of the collapsible groups, the other two groups, the content of the other two groups gets hidden. See, I'm clicking for group 2, the content of group 1 is hidden, and the content of group 2 comes in the front. So let me explain the design. It's a bit complicated, but hope you'll understand it the way I'm going to explain it to you. So what I have done here is, no need to include this panel and all this thing. I've only used for the UI, that is the same, these broad kind of gray things. Instead of that, you can try this on the same text as well. What is important is the data toggle. See, in the beginning, what we have done, what we have used is, the class that we are using is collapse. Data toggle is collapse, means on toggling, the collapse should be functional, and data present is accordion. Why we have used data parent is accordion. Why we have used this particular accordion here? Because the whole functionality of this page has been written in the div tag, and the id of div tag is accordion. So whatever the feature are of the parent, that is this particular div with id accordion, should be inherited by this anchor tag as well. So that's why we're using data hash pair. And href means the link that we have to hit is collapse 1. So what it will do is, it is having the property of collapsible. Now when we click on this collapsible group, href is hash collapse 1. So which div is having collapse 1? We will see this div is having collapse 1. So what will happen? This collapse 1 will be triggered. Similarly, for collapsible group 2, href is collapse 2. Where is the id? This is the id, so this div will be triggered. Similarly for group 3. But now you can see from the example, we are getting some effects of fading, like the others content is getting hidden and the first content we are getting. So how we are getting this? Within this thing, we have appended the class panel collapse and collapse. This needs to be mentioned in order to implement the functionality properly. See, if we are not using this class, then we won't be getting this property of collapsibles. Till here in the parent class, that is the main text where we were applying it on clicking. So we need not to use the class, but here the content needs to have the class. So we have used two classes, that is panel collapse, because we have to collapse the whole panel, and the default class, that is collapse. So I hope the understanding of this collapsible is clear. So this is one of the most important things that you can do with a simple bootstrap framework, because doing this with the JavaScript or jQuery you need to have programming skills, but here you need to simply edit and do everything in the designing part itself. So thank you guys, this was all about collapsible and accordion.